Hi, I'm Stirewalt, and this is Power Play. Internet, we're almost there. How you doing? It's going to be the election soon enough. But polls, what are they? How do they work? We have had probably the stupidest discussion about public opinion research and the science of polling that society has ever had since the Gallup organization first ever called somebody on a landline. Why are we having that discussion? Doesn't matter. And some handy, helpful tips about polling. We will do that all for you right now. And we will not delay because there is good news. Two of your very favorite mammals are here. Charles Hurt, definitely a mammal, does not lay eggs. This is true. He is a columnist for the Washington Times. But really good news is that Alexandra B. Stoddard, AB Stoddard, your friend and mine from Real Clear Politics, is here. Guys, how we doing?
Great. Very well.
I know some things about polling and have spent some time around polls in my life, and I feel, AB, like this year has made me stupider.
No.
And I feel like I'm re-explaining things all the time. Why does the Trump campaign talk about polling so much?
Right. Well, he loves polls, and he loved them.
He loved it.
Yeah. Well, right. He loved polls, and he led the polls from just only a few weeks after announcing his candidacy all the way through the primary,
basically,
and he trusted them.
August until August, he hit the lead in the Republican primary polls in August and held the lead essentially until he clinched the nomination the first week of May.
Right. So they were good, legitimate polls then. Now they believe that someone's up to some monkey business with polling because they're not showing him doing well or holding, some solid ground right behind Clinton. I want everyone who watches and reads you to go back to your halftime report a couple days ago when you described the methodology of different polling and why actually when you pay for your own internal polling in a campaign, you're not up to any monkey business.
You tend to want it to be good.
Yeah. So it's a very good breakdown, and I recommend everyone read it because it's a really good primer on all this confusion. But the internet makes for some really excited fever swamp debate over these kinds of topics, and I think it'll continue long after Election Day.
Charles Hurt, do you believe that the media... Yes. No, I know you don't believe in polls, but do you believe that the media intentionally rigs polls for the purpose of making Donald Trump look bad and dispiriting his supporters?
I think that I'm certain that they...
Do I do that?
No.
Right.
No. Let's not make this personal.
Right.
Of course, I don't think you do. But I do think that you can get polls to say anything. And and I don't know if they're designed to make Donald Trump look bad, but they're designed to make news. And I think that and that's why nobody trusts any of them, and that's why people don't trust the media. And and this whole thing about Donald Trump, it's rigged and all that. What does rigged mean? I'd like to know. All these people who are so shocked and horrified about Donald Trump talking about the system is rigged. What does it mean? What does it mean?
Well, it's one thing, right, AB, if you say that the system is rigged in the sense that there's a liberal bent to the media or there's an anti-Trump bent to the media, and then there's that part of it. But then there's the other part of it, which we should leave for another time, which is the part about that the election itself, that the outcome at the ballot box is rigged.
He has told us that international banks are working with Paul Ryan, the House Speaker, and Hillary Clinton and the media to steal the election. And he tells parts of Pennsylvania that other parts of Pennsylvania are going to be stolen. So the thing is, however, I want to bring everyone back real quick to September 26th, when Donald Trump was feeling terrific because he had all the momentum in the polls, a lead in the polls, and Hillary Clinton was on her heels going into the first debate, and she had everything to lose.
That was a good moment.
So those polls were real, though, in September. They were legitimate, right?
So
now they're rigged.
So the one thing we want to tell the internet is this: the internet already knows it because this data comes from it. But there are more Democrats than there are Republicans in the United States of America. There were 6 points more Democrats.
Typical liberal media.
There were 6 points more Democrats in the 2012 electorate. There were 6 points more than there are Republicans. Is it 8 points now? Is it 7 points now? Is it 5 points now? I don't know. But you do acknowledge that there are more Democrats.
Can I turn the tables here and ask you a question?
Hit it.
Are they closing right now?
Closing what?
Are the polls tightening right now?
Only the credible ones.
My theory.
Oh my gosh.
My theory.
And every time I ask him, is this a credible poll? Because I really am trying my best to understand polls and speak properly about them. He yells at me.
I don't yell at you.
Yes, you do.
I have
You yell
never
at me
yelled at you about it.
Okay.
I have never.
So are they tightening? Remington research?
Some polls show tightening at the end, but I would say that this is why we use averages of polls. Right. Since Charles is hosting Power Play now, I would say that the reason we use averages of polls. As we use averages of polls, is this. One poll may show some tightening, one poll may show some loosening. If we use, and what we do in the halftime report average, which is so delicious, we take only the best polls. We throw out all the garbage polls, and we take.
He explains in the halftime report why some polls can't pass muster.
I don't miss it.
But
it does.
What we have
I'm
found,
still anti-poll.
I'm answering your question. What we found over the course of this election is that Trump has been close as 1.8 points at one point, and he's been as far down as 10 points. He's now at about 6 points down, and that's...
How did you do in math in college?
Well, you know where I went to college.
I do know.
All right, guys. That's why he asked. Then you know why I went there, because my verbal math split on the SATs was a little imbalanced. Guys, we thank you for being with us today. And you, Internet, we're glad you came by, too. And we hope you and your skewed vectors come back for some more Power Play real soon.